Now, Dave McCarthy sits opposite me today. Dave, good morning to you.
Good morning, Keith.
Good, how are you today?
Very well.
Now, lots happening in the financial world today, and we're looking at the new deal on the Insolvency Service that allows more people burdened with debt to look for write-downs on their loans. How is this going to work?
Well, basically, the problem has been since the Personal Insolvency Bill came in, Keith, is that very few people have availed of it because of the costs involved and the intricacies of going through the system. And it has caused a major problem for a lot of people who should be availing of it. Excuse me, but the Irish Mortgage Holders Association, which is a voluntary body, have now agreed with Grant Thornton, the accountants, who will handle the professional side with the banks for customers who cannot afford to pay for it. So essentially what will happen here is that a lot of people who cannot afford to pay for it can go to the IMHO and process through them, and the cost will be picked up by the banks. For people who can afford, well, then obviously they'll be expected to pay all or some of the costs. But they reckon that there's a couple of thousand cases that are probably waiting to go through for people who can't afford to pay for it. And again, it comes back to criticism of this bill when it was introduced, which is understandable, whereby that it was excluding people on the basis of the cost of the service. I mean, it didn't provide for what do you do in a situation, which obviously is the case, where people are heavily burdened with debt, trying to avail of this service, and then not making provision for who's going to pay for it. So hopefully this will open the door for a lot of people, and it's a welcome move, and we'll see how it operates in practice.
All right, now we have somebody on here. I have money on deposit with my bank, and they're contacting me on a constant basis looking to sell me one of their products. Is there anything I can do to stop this?
This is a common problem, because the problem is if you actually walk into any of the banks now, you'll notice that the counter service in most of the banks has dropped to, I won't say nil, but not far off it. They don't want you inside the door, or if you do come inside the door of any of the branches, they have now turned all the branches into effectively sales outlets. So people are constantly being bombarded to buy one product or another. And the other thing that's happening is, as soon as you're putting money into an account and they see that it's in a deposit account or a current account, then if it's there for any length of time, I should say, then they're trying to contact you to sell one of their products. The problem here is that I'm always concerned that when you have a climate like this, and a lot of pressure on the individual staff to sell products, that you will have, and I expect it could happen in the future, a whole lot of mis-selling cases again, because the pressure they're under and to sell products to people. The bottom line is, if your bank is harassing you like this, and it is, I think in my opinion, a case I've heard of harassment, well then basically you tell them in no uncertain terms to stop contacting you in relation to sales products, and they're obliged to do so.
All right, that's it. So they take the strict line with them. What
take
about
a very strict line. Don't be pussyfooting around, because it will continue.
Okay. What about health insurance company? They're launching a radical plan whereby you can build your own health policy.
Yeah. Now, as you know, Keith, there's an awful lot of people who unfortunately have given up their health cover, and there are a lot of people who are thinking of giving up their health cover, and certainly it is not a welcome development. And anything that will improve the situation, encourage people to keep private medical insurance, it has to be applauded. Glow Health, which is one of the health insurers, have now introduced a plan whereby you can build your own plan from €500 upwards. So basically the basic plan covers you for semi-private accommodation in a public hospital, and then you can add on whatever you want in terms of private rooms or being able to avail of private hospitals. They reckon that the other insurers are going to follow suit with something like this, because certainly having some cover is better than having none. And the figures have proven that so many people have given up the cost or their health insurance because of the costs, and it's a welcome development, and I would hope that it'll encourage more people to go back into the private health insurance sector for their own sake, and maybe stop some of the others from leaving.
All right, Dave McCarthy and Associates, 566022 if you want to get further details there, and he's based in Woodkey in County Galway.